You're listening to the Unreasonable Fridays Podcast Network.
Go ahead, stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Shorthand intro. This is Ad Space.
ADD Space.
I'm your host, Aaron Rand Freeman.
I'm the other host, Elise Bacon.
Welcome to the show. Here we go. It's like Link comes off. Link comes off to me the same way Master Chief comes off. And it's just like he's like Nintendo's Master Chief. He's just like he's just a placeholder for the characters, but then I didn't care about the placeholder. I see it for I wanted to play as Zelda. The Legend of Zelda. And after around the fourth Legend of Zelda game that had me playing as blank slate Link, I was waiting until I could play as Zelda. It's one of the reasons why I want the Hyrule Warriors games, because Zelda gets in there. Zelda puts his fucking sword in the dirt and is like, no one shall pass this line here. Zelda and her ancient fighting techniques and her cakes out here fucking establishing the legend. I'm sure you've heard about me for 20 odd years without actually playing as me. I have, ma'am, I have. Well, behold. And then a Dynasty Warrior style game is wildly appropriate. She killed 400 niggas. Like, yes! I waited 25 years. You killed 2,000 niggas. Yes! This is in fact legendary. It's legendary! That is to say, I probably won't be playing another one since they, won't be doing the... I don't know when they're doing that again. I know Zelda's in Smash Brothers, and I know Zelda's in Hyrule Warriors, and I don't know where else she is.
Not having her own game.
Right. And I had that opinion way before, I didn't know the people who would have been like, yeah, nigga, you right. Because I was just one lone man. I was just a lone man in a sea of blurs, young teenage blurs, as toxicity rose. And I was the only person like, oh, you don't play as Zelda? Hard pass. Who's this elf boy? No one?
It's literally why I've only played a few of them. And I've beaten them because I actually really like the gameplay and I like the puzzles because I really like puzzles in my games, especially my adventure games. Which weird why I love Mass Effect Andromeda. There's so many puzzles, literally alien Sudoku. So yeah, it was definitely one of the things I really had an issue with the Zelda series, because I'm like, if I'm gonna be a nondescript character, can I be Zelda? Can I please, pretty please, just for the love of God, be Zelda?
Bro, I have never heard of a naming convention like that. Like even as a young boy, the name on the game was who you were rocking. So I never said The Adventures of Link. I mean, I think there's some game called The Adventures of Link now. But when I was younger, it's fuck. Who the fuck is Link? Link sucks. I'll say it.
I mean, he doesn't suck. He just isn't anything.
I think he sucks because of who he's not. I'm gonna say because I was raised with the injustice, I've lost all objectivity at the injustice, and I just glower at Link, and everyone cheers Link, and I'm like, y'all, he sucks, and I realize that's not objective. That is a complete total loss of objective. Listen, when he was in Soul Calibur, I take a great deal of joy in whooping people's asses and put the little. I used to use Sofiti all the time. You remember she used to have that move where she'd stab the ground over and over again? Man, I put those Link
she stabs your foot.
Yeah, and when you were on the ground, she could do it and just, ding, 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 quite literally. And I do that to give the Links a little extra sauce on the side when the round was over. You're not fucking Zelda. Who the fuck are you? Fucking elf, get out of here.
Not who are you? Get out of here.
Yeah. All right.
It's fine. It's okay, Aaron. It's
No.
okay.
I mean, whether it's not okay, whether it is okay, is now that I know that there are other people who felt the same way, I don't care. I'm fucking quadrupling down on that shit. I want to play as fucking Zelda for like 150 hours. I'm play as fucking Zelda. That's it. Now that I know people agree with me, nigga, please, I should never heard that information. No. I should never have found out that there are other people who are also resentful of the series because it's called Legend of Zelda. You play as Link, and then Link ain't nobody. Please.
Yep, he's literally a placeholder for
Bro.
you to insert yourself as the hero.
Bro. My little white elf. Ain't no place. There's no Aaron shaped place for me in that character. None. Maybe if I could character create Link, maybe I could splash him, niggatry in there. So, just like aftershave, just like, just put it on his sides and, just for texture.
Not for texture.
I mean, whatever. Like, I don't know, like
Texturized Link.
yes, be great. Just, I mean, if he's supposed to be an avatar, then lean into it. Let me change the Link that I use. I'm not saying he doesn't have to be an elf boy or whatever the fuck or whatever. Could be an elf non-binary person, which would be fucking a step in the right direction. Yeah.
Honestly, it would make sense.
I mean, that'd be great if Link was just a person and you could just make the person Link. Yes, that'd be great. And I could just, maybe put some dreadlocks on him. I mean, he still have the elf ears and stuff. He can still, maintain his elfness. It's just, all that to say is I shouldn't have bought a Super Nintendo when I was a child. And I realize this now as Nintendo gave me a whole ass Super Nintendo with a bunch of games on it. Games that I used to enjoy and some games that I could never get that I never got. And I respect them for being good. It's just that Sega Master Mega Drive collection or whatever, whew, I'd be cooking on that shit, boy. Like 12 games on that motherfucker I like. Then I was on my Switch, I got Outrun, Thunder Force. They got Thunder Force 4 and 5. Nigga. Like I said, I'd be cooking. My Sega Genesis is just, I'd be cooking. Streets of Rage and Vector Man and Thunder Force, Outrun. Oh. When I moved, I brought my old Xbox 360, which has singular value, right? The console has Simpsons Arcade, X-Men Arcade, the 1989 Ninja Turtles Arcade, and Afterburner Climax. It's an old Xbox arcade game back in the day. Great
I actually
game.
know that one.
Yeah, great. Yes. Those 4 games rest on the hard drive. Out of all the games that I own, every game that I own on Xbox got ported over to Xbox One for backwards compatibility. Except those 4. And those 4 are so important that the whole console will always be ready to go. Always. Because I never know when I want to play the Simpsons arcade game or the X-Men arcade game or any of that shit. I never know.
Yeah, it's funny because I really wanted a Super Nintendo and I had a Sega Genesis because I was like, but all of these like narrative games my friends are playing that they're like, I'm like, I really wanted to play it. Like Earthbound, I wanted to play Earthbound. Sega didn't have any games like that. They just had don't get me wrong, they had the best fighting and beat 'em up games. Like, nigga, I lived off of those, and I to this day love Vector Man so much.
Yes.
To this day. And my other favorite game was called Pugsy, not Bubsy. Pugsy, little alien.
I remember Pugsy.
We've definitely talked about him. And then there was Ristar, fucking fantastic game. fucking fantastic game, but there was like no
Ristar, you turned me on to Ristar. That shit was on the Mega Drive collection.
Nigga. The game is flame.
Oh my god, I put that shit on when you mentioned it. I was like, what is this?
It's so weird.
What is this? So dope. Ristar is good though. It's so good.
It's bizarre and good at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell me it's not a weird game. Like because it's totally a weird
well, I mean, if we're out here, if we're picking threads, then every fucking these games are fucking weird. Are you kidding me? These old 16-bit era games are wildin'. Seen these games? Wildin'.
Nigga, some of them I'm just like they're only good in nostalgia. But I'm like, it's not a good game.
My favorite thing is the Mega Drive collection, and also the Super Nintendo emulator on Switch. It lets you fast forward your game or rewind it.
Good.
That's such a great feature.
And I think they have save states now.
Yes, you in fact can save. You can totally save your game. Yes.
Now that it's like not an illegal emulator, like I don't feel like I'm cheating. Because I was like in 8th grade before I knew about any of that shit. I'd just be like, oh, I'm gonna play this game, it's free. I'm like, no, that's actually not okay, Bacon. I'm like, oh, this isn't. Oh,
this is a crime.
Literally like 11-year-old me like was like, what?
This is against the law. Oh shit.
This is totally against the law. I don't own a copy. And then I started buying copies and I'm like, I own the copy. Like would go to like the used bookstore that had like the games and I'm like, I don't even have the system, but I own the game. It's legal now. No, it's not.
You ready for SWAT to burst in the door? Where are the games, man? Where are the games?
I legit like would save up my lunch money.
It get real tense. They'd have you hold up the game. There's 17 niggas pointing guns at you. Hold up one of the cartridges in your hand. It gets real tense. Goes, Johnson, move in. Confirm the game. Confirm status. They fucking take the game. And the guy's scanning it. Real tense for 40 seconds.
Okay,
Yes, this game's legit. Game's legit, Captain. All right.
Game is legit.
Let's get out of here.
Everything's fine.
And they throw on a
All
smoke
good.
bomb and they're all gone.
Very paranoid child. So like I would like play through them without using save state because I'm like I must play them how they were originally played. I'm like I must give respect to the game. Nigga, I use save states now. Fuck that shit.
Oh please, are you kidding me, bro? No.
Bruh.
Some of those games, when a game is 35 minutes long and aware of it, it'll come at you crazy. I was gonna say games that are 30 minutes long come at you crazy, and I'm not mentally as an old man, I'm not prepared for how the games come at you, dude. I just don't have it. I just don't. They come at you so wild. I can't. Especially the games that used to be arcade. Oh god, no.
It hurts.
No.
Some of those arcade games, like, and I don't care what anybody says. Vector Man's one of the hardest Genesis games, like, period.
Far and away.
Like, it is like literally one of the hardest Genesis games. So I was like, I mean, like using a save state on there. There's still levels I have like I will die 100 times before I get past, and I'm like, how did I beat this before as a child? Like, what state of being did I unlock as like an 8-year-old where I managed to beat this even once?
I call it the singularity of youth when you have nothing happening. When you don't have enough happening to distract you from playing a very difficult game. Imagine a world where it's just you and the game you're playing and like your mom. Like you think about that. Like when's the last time it's just been like a game and you're not even thinking about like you can't help it now, but you think of games like you play games with people, and when you play games by yourself, you're kind of taking in what they are about, and you're kind of like in like context is like framing it, and there's like all these buttons, little diodes going off. All over the place.
How was that again?
Little diodes going off, And everything is kind of games are so many moving parts because we've been playing them so long. And if you look at them critically for too long, then it's hard to look at a single game image and it won't just be quiet. It's not just like it doesn't exist in singular. And when you're younger, though, it does. So like those levels in Vector Man were just you and Vector Man, and that's a type of gaming experience that we can't get again. Which is why when you play those old ass games, you're just like, what the fuck was I on? That I was doing this shit.
It's honestly probably why I still play a lot of those games, like new, like as like because there's a lot of like we're having a lot of people who like grew up and are like, I'm gonna make my nostalgia game. I'm gonna make the game that I wanted to play when I was like 5, and I was terrible at it. So I'm gonna make it for that experience. So I'm still gonna be terrible at it, but I'm gonna make this game anyway. So I really like those games. Like, oh man, top-down shooters. Like, woo! Those top-down shooters just I can just my brain just completely just like it, only the game exists. Nothing like it'll hit this sweet spot like where just the game exists. You know, just like all you hear is the background, the sound of your lasers.
Oh my god, yes.
So good.
It is true. That is so true.
And like you may even die like 50,000 times.
Oh, that's so fine. That's fine. It's probably the only game genre where I will die and just start over from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, same.
And I'll just be like, well, instead of using continue, I'm just like, well, fuck it. I'll just run it back. Because first of all, it was only 12 minutes. But second of all, it's like, it's the whole experience to be taken in over the entirety of itself. And it's like the zen starts from the level 1 to whenever you die. And that's it. And it's just unique to that. Like the zen is the point and it's how you beat it. So big same. Now I have a question about those games and top-down shooters. Since you're a fan and I'm a fan, do you have... I have a weird spider sense where my inner child will alert me to when there's a game that exists, like a game I can buy now that was not available when I was a kid. Like I remember a lot of these games were Japanese imports or
like I will sing the praises of Ikaruga forever.
Like Ikaruga is one of the greatest games ever made.
Literally, like it is an iconic Japanese arcade game.
Absolutely.
Like the game it's based off of is also an iconic Japanese arcade game. It's literally why I like Nier Automata.
Really? Oh, because of the similar shoot. Oh, I see.
No, it's not even similar. So the Drakengard and Nier series specifically pull from iconic Japanese games of that time, of a time period that. So like you couldn't go anywhere in Japan without seeing Ikaruga and Ace Combat.
Oh.
So all of the mechanics, like I had never played Nier or Drakengard, but I knew the mechanics because I played all the games it was based off of.
I see.
It is a lot like Drakengard and Nier are love letters to old Japanese arcade games.
Oh, that would explain a lot.
Right. Like that's why when like, and you watched me as I was playing it. That's why, like, I don't know if you noticed, like I picked up on the boss mechanics like immediately.
Right.
That's why. Because I played a lot of Ikaruga and Ace Combat.
That explains so much. Because the game Nier Automata is very comfortable. In a way that I didn't quite understand. Like the whole thing felt very comfortable.
And then they put existential crises in there for I don't know what reason.
I mean, it works. Funny thing about Nier and Nier Replicant is they have a very heavy-handed narrative about these, like very heavy-handed existential crisis that you blow off, but then because you keep visiting the same areas over and over again, it starts to seep into your consciousness. And then all of a sudden, like, it all kind of, like, I realized this with Nier Replicant, because Nier Replicant, apparently, you don't have to, like, I treated it like I was a DoorDash kid. Like, I was a DoorDash guy. Like, I was, like, running. I was on foot the whole time, pretty much, unless I was drifting in a bore. I was on foot the whole time doing people's quests and stuff. And after a while, you know, people would be like, oh, there's too many quests, too many sites. And there are a lot of fetch quests in Nier Replicant. Like, it's a vast chunk of the whatever percentage of the game I'm playing. And at some point, I was just walking through the field and it all hit me that this is like the end of society. Like, this is like, you know, this is people trying to make do with a society that's already collapsed. And I'm like, oh, man. And I wouldn't have noticed it if I went back and forth through there like 3 times. But I had gone through the same field like 15 times. And on the 16th time, I was like, man, god damn. And also all the story just kind of hit me at once. And all of a sudden, it just gave everything more momentum. And same thing with Nier Automata. And it's just, I mean, I assume that's what they were doing. I assume that's intentional because the existential crisis is so heavy-handed that they were just like, eventually you will care. Trust me. Just keep delivering people's food. It's fine. It'll be fine. Just keep delivering their food and whatever, their Reese's Pieces and their Dr. Peppers, catfish. Just keep doing it. Yeah, I didn't realize that it had pulled from other games though. That's actually really interesting. That really does explain the immediate comfort with the game's design.
Mm-hmm. No, it's definitely a love letter to like I would dare like cult classics and historic like Japanese arcade games.
That reminds me, I am going to send you the money for a game called Risk System. I mentioned it to you. It is a side-scrolling shooter with, I believe, an entirely brown cast of non-dudes. And it's actually it has a really interesting system where the closer you hover to bullets, the more it powers up your whatever. You have this this ability to be invincible and fire a laser, but you have to essentially get grazed by as many bullets as possible. It's a very interesting system, very short game. I think let me check my Switch. I think it runs like $9 or something like that. It might still be on sale. And I want you to try it because I want your opinion on it. I really enjoy it. All this talk reminded me, and also I'm just scrolling now my list of arcade shooters and stuff like that, and that is definitely one of them. And actually, if you're listening, try Risk System. It's on Switch and Xbox, as far as I understand. I think it might be on PC as well. But yeah,
I don't know why you hate me, but I will actually try the game.
I don't listen. Here's the deal. You don't watch trailers, so I didn't send you the trailer. But if you saw the trailer, then you'd understand. And anyone who's again listening, if you Google Risk System and look at the trailer, and if you've been following the program, and if you are reasonably familiar with our host, the owner, proprietor, the CFO, lead therapist, Elise Bacon, then
How
you'll
did I
understand.
become the lead therapist?
What are you talking about? You got the fucking job months ago. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Good work. Good job, everyone. Good.
I'm not licensed.
Phenomenal. Excellent stuff. Good work. Excellent job on yet another step up the corporate ladder here at Unreasonable Fridays. I really appreciate your work. And again, congratulations. And thank you for all the work you do here at Unreasonable Fridays. Head therapist Elise Bacon, everybody, give him a round of applause. We all believe in you.
What?
Congratulations. So I was saying there are a handful of games that I remember being a lot of money when I was a kid. And seeing them now, like those Neo Geo games, man, like I got things like Polestar, Blazing Star, Aero Fighters, the whole Metal Slug series. That shit all together ran me about $70. Remember those game cartridges were hundreds of dollars? And they were legit, by the way. They were arcade perfect. It was fucking amazing. Neo Geo, if you're one of your parents was a drug dealer, was a worthwhile investment and amazing gameplay experience.
Did you just say worthwhile if your parents were a drug dealer?
I mean, who else?
Okay, no, it's fine.
But who
I'm
else?
just checking.
I mean, who else could afford a Neo Geo?
Listen, I was just checking to make sure I heard correctly.
So listen, growing up, I had known only one child with a Neo Geo, and it was a child of one of the more lucrative the amateur pharmaceutical purveyors in the neighborhood, greater region where I was at. And because everyone was aware of his daddy's portfolio, no one would dare, you know how kids are with other kids' games, no one would dare make a move on this young man's Neo Geo or his games. It was spotless. The games were treated like gold. No one asked to borrow the console or the games. Joysticks, untouched, returned to their original spot. But this young man was blessed. I believe he had 4 Neo Geo games before we lost track of them.
Oh, God.
No, I don't know, like...
No, I mean, oh, God, at the Neo Geo games, not the other part.
Right. So...
I mean, he's probably fine.
He's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, now I buy Neo Geo games. I see them now. They're like $8, I think. They're like, the arcade classic Neo Geo games are $8. I buy all of them because I remember that shit. You know, I remember there were even like games that I heard about in magazines as part of the Japanese arcade scene. I never thought I'd get a chance to play. They pop up here and buy them up. Can't help. So I appreciate them and I appreciate you. What?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When Neo Geo was one of those things that I didn't even think about as a child. Like I didn't have any, like, there was no lust for it. There's nothing. It was like, well, that's never happening. And then went along my day. Like I knew somebody who had, like, I knew several people who had them, and I was just like, that's nice. Then I think it's great that you have that. Never going to ever in my entire life. So it is fun playing the Neo Geo games, but at the same time, I'm also just like, once my brain hits this is unobtainable, it just shuts off about it. It's just like, okay, it's the possibly obtainable that drives me up the wall.
I mean, I see it. I totally understand. I think what did it was how arcade games, because I used to play, you know, my favorite genre of games in the arcade were the beat 'em ups, and for the love of God, none of them made it to console in any shape like they were in the arcades.
No,
none of them. And
even the arcade versions were.
They're like, listen, I feel like they were just like legally, they could not be sued for not being the arcade version of the game. Like you couldn't take them to court, but that was not the fucking arcade game.
Right.
And then I remember seeing Neo Geo, and that was what did it. When I saw a Neo Geo, I think it was like Samurai Showdown or something like that. I look 1-to-1.
Samurai Showdown.
I look 1-to-1, and it was in a store window, and the console was like $800 or something like that, and the game itself was like $199 or some shit. Maybe I think it might be more like $300. And I was like, well, how? And that always became my fascination, was that my obsession, my favorite type of arcade game never made it to home consoles. Never made it. And I just wanted the idea that they existed. There was a console, even if I had to pay $1,500, which, by the way, my brother made a very good point that Neo Geo costs as much as an arcade. It costs it was essentially a cheap arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And the games itself were essentially like buying arcades to scale. For on the cheap, really. Like, I'm given how much an arcade machine is with the game and how much the individual Neo Geo cartridges is. It actually was a deal. Again, if your parents were drug dealers, but he had a point. It actually was a deal. Unattainable deal. It's like getting 35% off a Lamborghini. It's like, thank you.
All those car commercials were like, finance now.
Yeah, finance. Yeah. So we get down. We're going.
And you get like a low down payment on this brand new Benz.
It's like, bro, yeah, we could bring it down to because you got a Benz around Thanksgiving, it's down to $800 a month. Like, oh,
thanks. That's mighty helpful of you.
That's a hell of a lease. It's a hell of a lease still got there, and it is a deal. I'm certain that there are some people out there, and I'm certain there are some households that were like $800 a month for a new Benz. Count me the fuck in. And they got in their old Benz and drove down to the dealership.
They got in their old Benz
and fucking snatched it up. So I assume it was like that.
So what about this game that you want me to play? Like what was it? What was the big like this is a bacon game?
This is a very, very opening thing. You just play as a brown person. You're part of. So the way the game is, and I need to finish it. I'm slacking. There is apparently some type of you're being pitted against your old squad. There's like some parasite that's like attacking people, and you're being pitted against your old squad as like part of what's called. It was like at first it's called training, but then it starts to escalate, and your old squad's like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "All right." And they're like, well, fuck you then. But your old squad is just all brown people, all brown non-men. It's like 4 brown women, just varying sizes, and like one dude that Erica pointed out is definitely not binary. Like the dude is just like he's a very, very interesting muscle character, and it's like even they are it's not clear. And the entire narrative is just kind of you just kind of encountering your old. It's not a long game. You encountering your old squad. And it's got a very engaging system that allows you to be very aggressive. And the characterization is interesting. And sometimes just playing a genre, just playing a bit of a genre piece as the right people is worth it, is inspiring in and of itself. So I think the system is, the art style is interesting. Pixel art, very well done pixel art. Like I said, the characters, narrative, being able to be aggressive, being rewarded for being aggressive. It also has hyper scalable accessibility, so you can start from like easy. You can go all the way down to like easy 1 to like hard 10, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's not so you can go to easy 1 to 10, normal 1 to 10, hard 1 to 10. And you can fill the screen with fire if you're into it. Or you can deal with 1 pellet every 4 seconds if you're into it. And being able to scale to that degree also. Like having a shooting game with that type of accessibility is of value. Because, sometimes you don't always have it for whatever difficulty shooting games will, the top-down shoot-em-ups will hand you. Flood the screen with dots and shapes. And you just ain't got it. So, yes.
That sounds amazing.
Risk System.
That sounds perfect.
Let me see how much it is. Risk System, Nintendo Switch.
I do not know why it's 88 degrees today.
$9.99, yes. There's a crackling 9. Actually, you know what? I can send you this image. This is the main cast of characters. I can send you the box art. I'll send you this. And I'll send you this and you'll understand.
Okay. I need to check on my cat really quick just because I realized we're having another heat wave and it's 88 degrees right now.
Tend to your kitty, please. We'll be here.
It's like, yeah, all the reasons I moved from Arizona have been happening this summer.
Phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal stuff. With no air
So
conditioning.
I just gave my cat a ice pack that she can. It's not like it's actually not too bad in my bedroom. I moved my. I have a fan. I got a double window fan that can
Right.
pull heat out. So I actually have it set up in the kitchen, because it's pretty much a straight shot.
All right.
So I have cool air circulating in the living room. My bedroom's kind of cool because it doesn't face the sun at all. And it actually just faces a wall of vegetation, which makes it automatically like 10 degrees cooler.
Right.
Like anywhere from like 5 to 10 degrees cooler. So like I just put an ice pack next to where she was laying. I wiped her down because it helps cats cool down to mimic sweat. And so she should be fine. She's definitely don't touch me, I'm warm. Like I petted her and she's like, meow, meow. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's definitely like, So I feel her very much. Like I very much understand it. But she's okay. This isn't like, I was just looking at it going, I'm like, I'm starting to get cranky. Oh, it's 88 degrees. See, I'm generally about fine. I'm usually fine, but once it hits like 92, 93, I'm like, why is it like this? What is going on here? Why is there heat and sunlight? Regardless of the fact it's fucking summer, I'm just like, no, give me back rain and gray.
I feel like it's a real heat advisory when somebody throws a chair at you. Like that's a heat advisory right there. An airborne chair.
I get really angry, and that's when I was like, oh, I have summer sad. I have summer seasonal affective disorder. Like I get wild depressed as the heat gets up, but I also like on top of the depression, I get angry. Like very irrationally mad. So, but I'm staying hydrated. I've had plenty of sodium today. I have sugar-free Gatorade, even though sugar is good, but I've had some watermelon, so I've had sugar. My cat's cranky and I understand. She's just like, oh, why? And I really get it. As long as it doesn't hit 100 again, I won't murder anybody. I mean, yes. Everything will be fine.
I think the title of this episode will be called Heat Advisory.
Heat advisory. No, you know, I like it. It's a pretty chill episode. I'm actually really happy about this. I feel like the Mass Effect ones were really heated.
Well, there's a lot of natural passion that comes out around Mass Effect. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, playing Andromeda made me angry. Beating Andromeda made me angry. Like just extremely angry for like a week. It's been a week and I've been angry that entire week. I keep thinking like Andromeda. So honestly, the biggest issue that I've had with Andromeda has been it's clearly written by a white person going, but not all white people. Hashtag not all colonizers are bad. And I'm just like, I tried to steer every conversation so Ryder wouldn't say that, but sometimes they literally gave no option. It was literally like the two options were you can trust us, or not all of us are bad. Like, I was like, and if you chose the you can trust us, it was like not everyone in the initiative is like exiles, or sometimes it would be like not all exiles are the same. And I'm just like, this came out in 2017, which the hashtag not all was a thing. So I was like, guys, y'all had to have like looked over the past couple of years of development, saw Twitter, and went, "Oh wow, we should have done that." So I was like, that was my biggest hang up with it. Is I was just like, but there was definitely a lot of just all of these loose, like not even loose ends, but they were just definitely a lot of beginnings to what was going to be content. Like it was clear, like all of like certain threads were going to be leading immediately into like content had the game not gotten unfairly review bombed for reasons that don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it has one of the greatest endings out of video games, like period. Like the ending of it is, you watched me do it.
Yeah.
It was just, it's challenging, it's satisfactory. You see all your homies, like it's very emotional. It is challenging.
Yes. Building towards the thing and then executing it based on the story that you've been telling and building yourself. Yes.
There's a whole victory lap and thanks for playing.
Yes.
Like the ending is one of the best endings, period, out of like any game I played. Like that last boss battle is great. The whole ending is great. And it just made me angry. I was just like, it's not going anywhere. And then you have people who, okay, everyone, I need you to understand this. The next Mass Effect game right now is entirely rumor mill. We don't know what's happening. The game has no name. Just a picture of Liara.
But Liara was playing us. I feel like in the actual scene, Liara is like looking back at us like, start talking. And that's it. That's all she did. She was just like, all right, Twitter can activate. And that's it. And then the people just talking shit about a whole game with literally one person winking at the camera, knowing that we're just going to talk ourselves into several spirals about what
people are literally calling it Mass Effect 4 like Andromeda didn't exist.
No.
And then some people are trying to call it Mass Effect 5 because I know they're trying to like just call it something, but they're like, there's literally a rumor mill that the Andromeda storyline has been completely dropped and that they're just going and continuing the original Mass Effect series, and it's going to be Mass Effect 4.
And I heard that it's both. That it's so long after the original Mass Effect that Andromeda storyline will play a part in it naturally. So, but we don't know anything.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing. There's no information.
Right.
It's just it was just a video of Liara. I can tell you right now, EA is hiring like nobody's business. So if you're in games or want to work in games, go apply for EA because like BioWare is hiring, EA is hiring, DICE is hiring. Who's the other giant company under EA I can't think of right now? Because their asses are hiring too. How do I know? I'm job hunting. And I'm just like seeing like EA's got like not like 500 positions open. I'm just like, Jesus fuck. So yeah, if you want to get into games, that's a really good time.
Or if you just want to figure out these rumors.
Like
if you just you're hell bent, you're just sitting there, you're one of those people that like it's like Mass Effect 5 and you're really fighting niggas on the internet, then go get a job there. Confirm. Be the best. Be the leak that you want to see in the world, friend.
Be the leak
Do.
you want to see. I'm never getting hired. I'm never getting hired. That's all, folks. I'm never. Thanks, Aaron.
I mean,
you ruined my chances.
I mean, I can beep it out and then release the.
No,
the
it's
full...
fine because they're not doing remote anyway.
Oh, you got to show up there.
You gotta show up there unless you're in the higher administrative roles and development roles.
But we ain't.
All the peon roles are in person.
But COVID is back and better than ever.
Yep.
No, quite literally back and better than ever. Like,
No,
it's
I
not an
know.
exaggeration. It's the
I
best
know
it's
that's not
ever
an
been.
exaggeration. It's not an
It's
exaggeration.
the best it's ever been. Like, COVID's ready
No.
for the new season. It's been working
No.
out.
I was looking, I was like, oh, and there's like actually stuff that my skill set could do that's like completely unrelated to the podcast. Like, actually, like I know production just in general, like workflows,
Right.
production and workflows. So that's kind of the stuff I was looking for. And I was like, I can do these. Not a remote job. And they're like in there, like in the text, they're like, this is not a remote job.
Bro.
Like we actually typed it in there. It's not a remote. And I'm like, but
Whoa, we can't.
I
we
can't go to California.
Also, we can't be convening. Like, bro, like, you understand how this works? Like, we can't go. Like, you're not paying me. Like, what you were offering me was fine for here, but now I can't take my black ass to California and make that same amount of money and then rub nostrils with you fools. Come on, man.
I have one chronic condition. Y'all ain't giving me a second.
And COVID's down to like 4% body fat now. Moving well. Like, I don't understand.
Has
Like,
fresh hydrated skin. Like
right.
it's clearly
Exfol-
brightened up their regime.
exfoliated, got its hair done. Like, it's ready to be out in the street. And I don't want to be out there in the street. Like, I'm going to go ahead and let COVID have the street for a while until we get our vaccine
Hair
situations.
did, nails done.
Right. COVID's out there.
Sashaying.
A little
just
midriff, a little
working it.
got the midriff out, got the 6-pack out and everything, letting everybody know. Got the short shorts on, letting everybody know. They're ready. COVID's ready. It's cute.
COVID is.
So I don't know why they want us to come back. Like, that's the thing, and that's where we're at. And that's the thing. Like, I understand we had gained momentum towards air quotes normalcy, but now we have to stop. And it really is like a barge. Like, stopping the ship again is so hard for America. And it's just like, I understand we had a hot month, but we got it all. I mean, yeah, but we had a hot month. Now we're back. You can't be around the people. You can't, you shouldn't. And the thing about it is now it's like, to the point where, everybody who is hanging around in crowds again, or someone's getting COVID. You hang around in crowds, you get COVID faster than you did before, amazingly enough. So I don't know why they want us to go back to work. They just want us to go back to work so they have some. Like, I feel like that we just need people to yell at. We need the exploitable class doing exploitable things, being exploited regularly for our sanity, and it's not sound. And I'm sorry that you trapped in your house, not able to work jobs you could do, which would actually be fun.
I know. I was like, oh. But why?
Yeah, I'm applying to this one job that's like, it doesn't say it's remote, but it doesn't say it's not New York. It's serious. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna see, because I want to see what they say. Like, I just want to test the waters. I'm like, so what happens if I can't move? What happens?
Also, I'm also like, are you going to relocate me yourself?
Bro.
Because that's the only way I'm moving.
Bro, these places that do not know if they're keeping you for longer than a year be asking you to move to California. Like, come to the Bay Area. Excuse me? For a year or more? Really? And the question is, it's like, why would you want me to do that? Like, why would you it's just inherently stressful. Like, why wouldn't you just want me to be inherently stressed out at home where I'm at right now? Like, why is it that you want me to sink thousands of dollars before I get there and be stressed out the whole time? Because then I'm worried about my living situation, because it's tenuous. Unless you're making a shit ton of money, it's tenuous.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
labor situation in this country is fucked. There's a tug of war going on, and mostly just people trying to pull us into the abyss, really. Like, we need our disposable class being disposable for the good of everyone else, I guess. I don't know. And I was like, why don't we, I don't know. I'm actually at a loss for words about it. It's just like, oh, we're just
Yeah.
people actively trying to like have you waste man hours and actual time to try and get yourself killed. Like you want to apply for a position where you get yourself sick because that's it. They just want you to apply and tell them like, how much do you want to rub nostrils with strangers for a few bucks? And then you're supposed to go, I'd love to. That sounds like a great idea. I'm so excited to do that. To meet strangers and breathe in their air because it's phenomenal. I love breathing it. Like right now, I wish you were around. It's like I could really sniff in the air you breathe out. That's wow. I'm very passionate.
I mean, actually, you'd probably be fine with me specifically because I'm completely agoraphobic at this point, and I'm vaccinated.
Right.
My specific air is probably safe to breathe in. I don't know about the rest of you folks.
You need everybody in the same place for. That shit boggles my mind. Like, what the fuck?
I don't even want people in the same place.
Right.
I'm just like, space.
Yeah.
The final frontier.
Right.
Just leave.
Get out of here.
How about that? Me. Hecky about that. Like, I don't know, buddy.
Right.
I'm
not
entirely sure.
Right. I just don't understand this. Want everybody in your goddamn space. I don't get it. It's just I don't want everybody in my space normally, and now it's dangerous to have people in your space, and it just seems as though they just want workers. Like the normalcy is workers. The presence of workers is the normalcy that people seek, and not all the workers, because the high ranking executive people get to be home. It's just that the presence of workers makes people feel better. Like Americans feel better about workers in a room working.
Well, because people can't mind their own business. They want to watch people doing the thing, and I think I'm just like, that is a problem. I'm like, you need to trust people to do their jobs. People actually work better when you're not hovering.
I remember I got into an argument with a friend about this, and I realized that America is generally we function on this distrust of where the more opportunities you give someone, the less likely they are to actually work. And that's a fallacy. It's subjectively wrong. But so many Americans have bought or have chosen to drink that Kool-Aid that it's perfectly fine and acceptable that be a reason why we need to stuff people into rooms with each other to breathe in each other's air. It's just like, oh, well, yeah, well, how will we know that they'll do the work? Because they want to eat. There are some people who take advantage of the systems in place to make life easier. They're an outlier. Most people do not take advantage, do not manipulate these systems for their benefit to the detriment of the overall project. Because again, we like to eat. We're also inherently capitalist to the point where we all kind of want to do a job well. We are not necessarily willing to die over it, but the average American wants to make their mark. They want to have lived for a reason.
So the funny thing is like, I like working.
Yes.
I genuinely like working. Like even in my, like, me, I'm like one of them side hustle Negroes.
Right.
I'm like, I never thought I was. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh no, I turn everything into a side hustle.
Right. Right.
I'm legit like one of them folks. I just went about it differently. And it's just like, I genuinely like working.
Yes.
I genuinely do not like being exploited.
Right. That's it. Yes. We all want to do a good job.
Or like, let me exploit myself.
Yes.
Like, let me have an option.
Which is, what's funny is it's easier to get more work out of someone when they're working from home, because then the lines, the boundary, the office boundary doesn't exist. You're more likely to be able to get someone obsessed over the quality of their own job when they're working from home. Then when they're in the office, they want to leave. They didn't want to be there. They don't want to be there. They leave. They throw their fucking laptop up against the wall and drive away until 8 a.m. the next day. That's a big chunk of time. When you're home, though, work comes to you randomly. You're sitting there playing Risk System, which your friend just got you. And you're like, oh, shit. And then you go slide over your work laptop at 9:15, which you would never have done if you had to go to the office. That laptop would be dead to you until you have to go back to work. But when you're working from
laptop, I don't know her.
Right. But you're much more likely to have work on the brain if you're home and comfortable and worried about doing a good job. And it's just one of those things that I feel like we're so obsessed. Is that there are folks so obsessed with just the appearance of the grind, the appearance of the steel mill, that, you know, that are like our grandparent, the jobs our grandparents work. We have to keep up that appearance, even though there's no place for it, to the point where we're just literally will have 100 people sit in an office.
Funny thing is steel is fucked right now.
Yes.
Like, them steel mills are closing. Also, steel is fucked in general. Like, Trump fucked up steel. COVID fucked up steel. That boat getting stuck fucked up steel. Listen, like, everybody on that ship has to be, for the rest of their life, dying of embarrassment.
I mean,
like, perpetually dying of embarrassment. Like, they probably like are as vague as possible as they can be on their resume about what their previous job was. Like, I'm sure nobody got fired over it, because it was a freaking nature. Like, there was nothing. It was like they just got pushed and got stuck and got wedged, and there's nothing that could be done.
I like to think that
even though they cost the entire world, like, it was several $billion.
I like to think that the real gems came from the people in the town around the port. So, like, imagine if you work on that boat and you get off the boat to get lunch, and the concierge sees you coming off the boat, and everyone in the restaurant like moves all the tables to the extreme sides of the restaurant just in case you lose your way, get stuck. Like, there has to be endless jokes about the people working on the boat to the people at the port, the people that at the restaurants, the people at wherever the general stores are. They had to be getting those jokes off on those people in that stuck ass boat. It was a month, right?
It was over a month.
It was over a month. Yes, every day you're just working to get the boat unstuck.
Costing all the countries, literal, like, billions, all the countries.
I would love to hear the jokes that got off on the expense of the people working on that boat trying to get, because you're just, imagine being embarrassed for a month and a half, just straight.
They are going to die embarrassed.
Bro, imagine that.
I'd be one of those stories to be like, Grandpa, tell me about the time when the boat got stuck. Oh no, shh. And there's like company over, and Grandma's just like, shh. We don't talk about that.
I heard a boat got stuck. Were you on the boat? Mom said you were on the boat that got stuck. How did it get stuck?
No. There was no boat. I never worked on the boat. Never.
I see a kid get grabbed by the top of their heaves, and kids get grabbed by the top of their head and pulled away. Right.
Oh God. Yeah. So, like, steel. Ain't nobody working on steel right now.
So then the appearance, the grind, the 40-hour-a-week grind is like this visual that we're looking for, even though there's no place for it. And it's just like we're obsessing over it to the point where, like, we're willing to put people in harm's way. Like, Delta variant is not a real thing. So, yeah. It's pointless, and it's ugly, and it's happening for a terrible reason, really. It's happening for a terribly selfish, poorly thought out reason. So, yes.
It's not great.
It's not a good reason. Not doing good.
so bad.
That's very bad. All right. What's
I
up?
do have to mention, Nintendo did have their Nintendo Direct, Indie Direct, just dropped yesterday, with several games that are now available immediately. They're like, by the way, so here's some upcoming games, and by upcoming I mean in the next hour, that you've been waiting for like 3 years. Axiom 2. Now there's Boyfriend Dungeon is finally out,
Yes.
and I'm so screwed. Chucklefish's new game is that's a Stardew Valley person. Chucklefish's new game is going to be coming out September 14th. So everybody who said that the summer was slow, I'm going to say once again, fuck you.
Also, I realize this is like, can we officially like, what should we do for indie development as it carries the gaming industry squarely on its shoulders? Squarely, our new game entertainment rests squarely on the shoulders of indie developers who have been working essentially remotely since before the pandemic and kept it moving, small teams. But they're carrying the game industry right now. The new games you play are from those guys. Almost all of them.
Yep.
When's the last time I bought a AAA? Actually, let me see something here. When was the last time I bought a game that was big developer? No.
I mean, I'm playing The World Ends With You, Neo, which we should talk about that for like 2 seconds when we're done with the indie game.
I mean, it leads right into each other. Even something. Yeah, The Ascent was made by 10 dudes. The Ascent is made by 10 Polish men. It plays like it.
It really does.
It's one of those things where I would almost like you. The character creator is hilarious because they give you 6 faces, but it's all the same white woman's face and it's all the same white man's face, and you just get to change
different shades of
different shades of mud. And it's like when you get too dark, you realize you're just like in blackface, so you got to lighten it up a little bit. And you put the dreads on, and they look ridiculous. They look
oh god, yeah, those whatever you call them they look like clay. Like have you seen like those little like clay things where you put the tub of clay in and it like comes out in like little noodle things?
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Yes.
So like I don't call them braids or locks or dreads. It's just clay hair.
Yeah, that's clay hair. That is not real. I couldn't fuck with it. I had to do the little side bob thing.
Same. I laughed.
Yeah.
My best friend and I chose the exact same design.
Yes.
It's funny because like he's got a male bodied character. I've got a female bodied character, and like they look the exact same.
Yes.
It just has kind of boobs.
So yes, I love the game The Ascent. By the way, I fully recommend it.
It is very fun. I am warning, it is buggy. So if you're a person who, for whatever reason, even at the cost of free, does not like bugs, I'm telling you, the game is buggy, but it's very fun. It's also cross-play. You can play with everybody.
Yeah, give it a second. It's still cooling on the sill, The Ascent. It's a great game, and I've played the absolute shit out of it. I'll freely say it's on Game Pass, so it is free. I mean, whether the subscription fee is. But fair warning, it is. Also, I will say that it varies wildly based on the platform that you're playing it on. Because I know people on vanilla Xbox One are having a hell of a time with it because it's Unreal Engine 4 and relentlessly so. And playing it on my Series X, it's fine with the occasional bug. And also, but there are like quality of life issues, like the frame rate is 30 frames per second, but under siege on base Xbox, for example. The load, like a Thad was telling me, it took him 4 minutes to load into the game. Like just 4 minutes of hitting start and that little screen. So I'm telling you this with a game, like it's clearly very much a game for working PCs and high-end Xboxes, Xbox Series S or Xbox Series X.
I think I have a high-end PC.
I mean, if you,
Boys.
I mean, you sound like you'd be able to run it fine. I mean, that's out
No,
of the glitches.
I can run it fine. It's just I had mad audio issues with it.
They patched it after the day after you played it and sorted out a lot of the co-op.
God damn it!
Right, they sorted out, like, I played co-op. I was playing co-op with Bap, and it was pretty clean. And yeah, it was no issue. But like, I haven't done crossplay, but a lot of the issues actually were tended to exactly in a patch. While you were telling me about the glitches you were having, the patch came out. Like, I was downloading the patch. So there is that. But there are more patches to come. It's like I said, it's again a very, very, very ambitious, very interesting indie game. I fully, like I said, I recommend it. And like I said, that compliments to indie game developers who are, like I said, carrying the summer. There are no AAA titles coming out. I think Madden comes out. It was Madden season, but I don't know if Madden even counts as a AAA title. This is Madden. And then
I don't know what I believe constitutes a AAA for whatever reason doesn't match what other people's definition.
well, what is your definition? Let's get a
My
working
definition of AAA is like a massive multi-million high graphic game. Like, they put the same amount of money into the game that you put into like Marvel movies.
Right.
Like, that is a AAA game. They are actually far and few between. There's not that many of them. They're not always very long. They just are very in depth, just throw all the money into the game.
Right.
They're not what's holding up the industry. Not
at all, no.
But I do think in a way they're kind of holding back the industry just a little bit.
Quite a bit. It's almost like it's an anchor in the ground, kind of keeping opinions of games and the games we're all willing to play back a little bit.
Yeah, I personally feel like you shouldn't only want to play AAA games because that's when you're gonna hit that there's no games coming out, because they're massive games. They're massive. They're extremely expensive. You can't have a bunch of AAA games going on at the same time in the same company.
No, you can't.
The money's not there.
No.
And like, there's also the cost of it. Like, we have to raise the price of these games because you can't have like a multi-million-dollar game and not raise the price of it. Like, it's just not like part of why we have crunch.
Right.
You can't do that. So like literally everything that's not that is a AA game, and AA is fine. It doesn't mean it's a B-rated game. It just means not as much money got put into it. Also means it's gonna get more money back.
It does sound it's good to keep this talking point, like the definition in play, just because
AA games, fine. Indie games, they're all good.
There is when you get into the discussion about the value of something like a Game Pass versus paying for all of your games and then only wanting to play AAA games, just inherently, like, the games you hear about are the ones with the most marketing, but they kind of get pushed to the top with the most money,
Also, an indie game does not mean it was cheaply made.
Absolutely not, no.
Some indie games get a lot of money thrown behind them.
Yeah, like The Ascent, clearly. Jesus fucking Christ.
Like, a lot of money. Sometimes what'll happen is an indie developer will get paid by a publisher to put out a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is still an indie game.
Yeah.
Does not mean that there's not a lot of money put behind it.
Yeah.
So just, again, definitions are important. Language is important.
I keep those in mind because, like I said, there is the weird argument that of certain games having inherently more value in the existence of games discussion, like the fact that the continuous talking point to say Xbox has no games, for example. when it's like quadrupling down on indie development to such a degree. Like I said, it's hinging the entirety of Game Pass on its own first party developers, but mostly indie games. Vast majority of Game Pass is weighing on the importance of indie games and the way people actually play games in practice, despite what they argue about on the internet. Like statistically, we play games differently than what we're yelling about on the internet, and we don't say it. So we tend to dabble. We jump around. We play way more indie and AA games than we talk about.
We also don't finish games.
We do not finish games.
I finish games.
You finish games too. You finish games. It's like you finish games.
There's like a few games that I haven't finished, and it like they sit right here in the back of my mind, going, "Finish me," and I can't turn it off.
Well, what games are these? Do we need to finish?
Right now there's Nier Automata and Bravely Default 2. Because remember, I rage quit Nier Automata, but it wasn't like a quit. It was just like, I need to come to you later.
Oh, right, I remember. Yes.
And then Bravely Default just got fucked over by Mass Effect.
Dead. Mass Effect was a barge. It moved everything out of the way. Yes.
Moved everything. Like, I wasn't gonna play the Legendary Edition, and then suddenly it showed up, and I went, I have to play the Legendary Edition.
And for the record, we Justin and I paid specifically for your social commentary, and it did not disappoint. The assertion, by the way, the assertion that BioWare helped create their own toxic fan base that torpedoed Andromeda. Oh man, and it's true though. They empowered lots of problematic people to expect problematic decisions and problematic narrative. And then when they took it away, they were like, "What the fuck is this? I'm trying to be racist. I need all my women to wear full body suits with the top unzipped. Where's this? Why are they all wearing full body suits? I want to be racist. What is this? Why is everybody eating? That's an alien. I don't want to feed an alien."
That was one thing I noticed in Mass Effect Andromeda.
What?
No one. There was no fan service. There was no fucking fan service in that game.
What do you mean fan service? You mean like having Liara suddenly step out in front of the camera and wink at the audience like fan service?
No. I mean like Bayonetta all of a sudden spreads her legs, fan service.
Oh yeah.
Or what was that one scene in the Metal Gear Solid game?
I mean, the scene where now, which one was there? The scene there was the scene with Meryl's butt. There's the Metal Gear Solid. There is the entire character of Silence.
Yeah. And
the fact that you can get along with her so well that she does some weird, seductive, awkward, naked person dance in the chopper after a mission.
Yes.
Like I don't know, like Metal Gear Solid's pretty trash. So, I mean, like the least trash one is the third one, and that's still pretty bad. So
yeah, so like that, like all of what you just said.
All right, yeah, none of that. Yes, I noticed that too.
I mean, like my favorite fan service isn't really fan service, but I got to hear kissy noises with Vetra, and I thought that was adorable. It was literally kissy noises, and I'm like, this is cute, and it was like funny kissy noises, not like realistic kissy noises.
Right.
I was like, this is fucking precious. Like if you're trying to be ridiculous with your partner, kissy noises.
Right.
This is so funny. So yeah, I was like, it was one thing I just like, it was something I was thinking, because I was like, I would look at the characters and like, even when you go to like cutscene talk to them, they wouldn't be like, there was no seductive turn to the camera, sultry stare. There's like none of that.
How about Miranda's butt? Just
that doesn't make sense. It's literally just like Miranda. It's basically like as if she was wearing an actual leather outfit, right? But then when it came to her butt, they just like actually just like painted it so it looked like her actual outfit, but it was really just butt, because no leather outfit house skin tight sits on ass cheeks like that.
Yes. Yes.
And there's even like parts where there's like little leather folds. Like, so, like, it clearly, like, it looked like a skin tight leather outfit in, like, certain places. And then the rest of it, it looked like it was, like, hand painted on to match the rest of it.
I mean, I swear to God, if I'm working on a project and someone submits a character, like a character rendering, and they have two clearly defined ass cheeks in clothing, I might have to fire the person on the spot. Like, we're gonna have problems. Like, you gotta pack your stuff. Like, this is like, first of all, like, how old are you? Second of all, this is porn. Like, I don't need like
No,
ass.
it's basically Leaffield if Leaffield's work was in a video game.
Bro, anyway, God bless Andromeda for not doing it.
I was actually looking for it, and I was like looking at the outfits. I was even looking at Korra's. Like, Korra's is perfectly military looking, like still skin tight, but it's just like not sexy at all. And I'm like, this is nice. Everyone looks nice.
Right. I don't know.
And even like the sexy femme rider attire is literally like sports bra,
Yes.
basketball top, basketball, like tracks pants,
Right.
like headphones. I was like, you look like you just got off the court.
Right. That's what's up.
I
Okay.
was like, this is cute.
Okay, that's what's up.
So,
All right, that makes me happy. Yeah. See, that's what I mean. That type of stuff. I'm happy to hear that.
so I know I keep going back. I just beat the game.
Here's the
I
deal.
beat the game so I could play The World Ends with You, and now I'm playing The World's End with You, and I'm just like, this game is amazing.
Here's the deal. We can talk
Triple
about Mass
standard.
Effect forever. Mass Effect helped shape. Well, first of all, as a Dragon Age fan, they spent a lot of time not making fucking Dragon Age to make a lot of Mass Effects for it to fucking warp their fan base like this. So I want to talk about it because we didn't get Dragon Age for a long time for fucking Miranda's fucking painted ass cheeks. And that shit's fucking annoying. And I love Mass Effect. But you know what? I want to talk about it. I want to know. Listen, there are lots of people who like Dragon Age and don't understand why there is so little Dragon Age when it's the best thing BioWare's ever made. So yeah, it's all important. Listen, it's important. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, the treatment of Andromeda, the expectations created by the fans, and why the fuck we haven't gotten any fucking Dragon Age.
Luckily, they're working on it. Dragon Age 4 is
Just
coming out,
sure.
and they're not gonna fuck. I mean, I don't think they're gonna fuck over that game.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think that game might be real cautious.
I mean, they just gotta do it. They just gotta put the Dragon Age out. Just put the Dragon Age out. That's it. Just don't overthink it. I remember it was supposed to be a live service game originally, and they were like hard stop on that. And,
God.
and I was just like, guys, please just put the game out. We will buy Dragon. If I promise to buy it, will you just put it out a normal Dragon Age game, please? Like I'll even pre-order like the legendary edition of Dragon Age. I promise. Like, what do you need from me?
I'm pre-ordering
It doesn't. By the way, it's not confirmed. I'm saying whatever they need me to do, so they can just put out a regular ass Dragon Age game. I'm willing to do it. I just need to know what they need me to do. I don't want a live service game. I don't want multiplayer on it. I just want the continuation of the story that ended with the Inquisitor.
I actually did like the multiplayer in Inquisition, so I wouldn't actually mind if there is a multiplayer mode, to be honest.
I wouldn't mind it either.
It doesn't need it, but like I wouldn't actually mind.
Yeah, same with Mass Effect.
If they did it like the strike missions,
right,
in Andromeda, because Andromeda plays like Inquisition meets Mass Effect 1.
Right.
If they did it like the strike missions, I think that'd be great.
Oh, listen,
that would be fantastic. Like you put your little folks on the board and be like, I'm sending you out.
Right. Listen, I enjoyed that multiplayer suite, that Dragon Age Inquisition, Mass Effect Andromeda, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer stuff. I actually really enjoyed it. I really did.
Good. I had a lot of fun with it, actually. I had a surprising amount of fun with it.
Mm-hmm. If they brought back like there's like people like there's growing momentum on Reddit for people who want them to bring back Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, for example. And the Bioware's like, circling it. And that'd be fine. I'd love to play it. I'd love to play Andromeda. One of the reasons why I'm hoping that, Series X gets that little, the first person FPS boost on Andromeda so I can play it. And I'd love to be able to play multiplayer specifically. Andromeda multiplayer is a fucking hoot. So is Dragon Age. They are onto something. I just need them to put their game out. I just need them to put a new Dragon Age out. Like, I just need them to do the thing. And then I don't know what it's going to take for them to just put a Dragon Age game out. So they can email me. They can hit me up on Twitter. Like, tell me what you need from me. I'll disseminate it to the rest of the African American community, and we'll go from there. And just let me know. So Mass Effect has value forever, but you know what else has value forever? The World Ends With You, the jammiest game
ever. Oh my god! Like, so the world. I'm not even halfway. This game is going to be bigger than I thought. I'm not even halfway through it, and I'm just like losing my mind. There's a whole new set of characters. It takes place after the world ends with you. Everyone who got erased in the first one shows up in this one. So that think of that what you will. Now it's very much team based now. The Reaper game is team based. The music is so good. The music is better than the first one. The music in the first one is super good. The music in this one is even better. They brought back almost all the tracks from the original one and then remixed it for the Neo version. And then there's like a whole bunch of new, like brand new tracks. There's new pins to attack people. Combat took me a minute to figure out. I'm still like trying to execute it with like precision. It's hard. It's definitely challenging. It's one of those where you'll unlock a variety of difficulty settings, etc. You're going to use all of them. So like, I don't know if that's like pushing it which accessibility direction, but you will be using all of them, and they're not all impossible either. So like pins basically activate your powers. And when I mean pins, they're like literally like designer pins, like that you put on like hats and stuff. Like they have powers because the whole theme of this is trends, like trendiness. It takes place in one of the trendiest places in Japan.
Bro, this shit look like Fit Wars. I feel like fights, like I said before, as a person, like I have the stream on in the background and like have it in low volume, and it really does look like people are coming through with poor fits, and then all violence breaks out as a result. Like sometimes it's real, like you're fighting like a scorpion or like a shark, but sometimes it's just niggas poorly dressed, and you have to tussle with them because they're poorly dressed on principle, because you're not.
Oh yeah, you've been seeing me fight the River City Society, and they're a bunch of normcore kids.
Right. I just people like with the flannel shirts and jeans, sweater vests, and y'all just don't like each other, and I get it. I mean, if I was dressed to the nines everywhere I went, then yeah, sure, I'd have beef with people who were dressed like. Listen, I'm in Austin, Texas right now. And I already have beef with people because the vast majority of these people dress like Beavis and Butthead. So by the World Ends With You rules, I would have to fight a vast majority of these people on the sidewalk. And I wouldn't blame. What?
The worst part is like it's been making me pay attention to how I'm dressing when I like stream, because I'm like I can't look shabby playing this game because I feel like the game will be mocking me.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have to think about it because one of the characters, is that a mask he has down around his face, right? Yeah, and I'm like, how is he wearing his mask? Like, it looks stylish. Like, how does it look like a fashion thing? Like, should I wear a mask? Should I wear it like that?
It is a fashion statement. Like, masks are like cultural over there.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
So like at one point they're like, look at you're being conscientious wearing a mask. He's like, no, it's not, because it's just like it's fashion.
It's fashion.
It's great because like, and that was in response to there's apparently like this idol group that you can like do submissions around, and like this idol group is like misophobic, so like they're like really anti, like they're like, and they specifically the localization team was just having a field day with this because they're like, you must be social distanced, no shaking hands, you must stand X apart. And I was like, oh, there's like so many COVID references in this game. Like it really feels like COVID hit like mid development, and then they changed some of the language in the game.
I'm here for it.
I mean, I've been waiting for this game for 2 years, so like,
I mean, it's nailing it.
it's so good. It's so good. And the soundtrack, like, even if you don't like this kind of game, I'm streaming it on Twitch, by the way, so you can go to my Twitch and like watch it. Even if you don't watch it directly, just listen, just vibe out. I had people just vibing out today.
Yes.
I was vibing out. Like, I'm sitting there like bobbing I can't stop myself from like bobbing at my head and singing for it through it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I'm
actually,
loving this game. But seriously, go to the Square Enix store, buy the soundtrack. The soundtrack is flames. So good. It's a 3-disc album, 100% worth it. With every penny. I'm sitting there when I ordered it, I was sitting there going, I think I'm gonna start up a small music collection again. I used to have a massive music collection. Multiple times it's gotten lost, and then I went, I'm never doing this again. I'm streaming only. Now I'm thinking about slowly just making like a small one. Small. For like the specials, like, you know, Beyonce's next album. That one video game soundtrack. Got the Pulse soundtrack also from Square Enix is just getting my money right now, and I'm really angry about it. Fuck you, Square Enix. Fuck you, EA. Both of you are getting my money, and I hate you. Hire me. So I can spend less money.
I want an employee discount, guys. Please.
I need an employee discount, please. I can't live like this. I won't leak anything. I just need the discount.
Speak for yourself.
I won't tell you shit.
You can't tell me nothing.
I won't tell you shit.
I'm going right to the internet.
I'd be like, hey Aaron, I've got some juicy gossip for you. There's a bunch of juicy gossip that's happening at work. And you'd be like, oh, do you tell? And I'm like, no. You know why? Employee discount. Fuck you.
That's right. That's completely valid. That's sound decision making. So I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted with the information. I'll be definitely leaking the details of Mass Effect undisclosed location for immediately, as soon as I catch wind of it. Any detail. Beautifully.
Shit from me.
That's right.
Not a goddamn thing.
All right. So you said you have a Twitch stream. How do people find this Twitch stream?
My Twitch, I believe it's called The Baconzilla. It's very pink. You can't miss it. It's very pink. It says The Baconzilla all over the top of it. Everything is super adorable pink.
Yes, it is in fact The Baconzilla. How people find you on Twitter if they need to find you on Twitter?
That's a great question, Aaron. How do people find me on Twitter?
That one backfired. Hold on. There we go. At Baconzilla, B4Z0 and ZILLA. That's B4C0 and ZILLA on Twitter. And you can follow the show at UN Fridays, on Fridays, like Reverse Fridays, Nega Fridays, on Fridays. And yeah, do the thing. Watch Bacon play. We'll talk more about it. I'm finna get it once I get a few more dollars in the pocket. And we'll talk about The World Ends With You, the most stylish game ever created, possibly allowed by the Food and Drug Administration. Who knows? Anything else you'd like to add, or else we're going to shut it down?
This has been a part of the Bacon broadcasting system.
Didn't know we had one of those. But yes, that.
I was doing tests on it earlier, so sure.
All right. Well, there you go. Have a pleasant day.